Welcome back for another video. You guys, today's video is kind of deep and super personal for me to discuss this, but it's something I honestly feel like me chatting with you guys on YouTube is low-key, actually high-key. It's healing for me in some type of way. I realized that I did not have my mic, but it's okay because I went back and I listened to the clip and it sounds pretty clear. But yeah, so let's jump into this video. So today we're going to be talking about my lack of affection and how I realized after I had my daughter and as she's gotten older and she likes to cuddle, without her even saying anything, I have just noticed how I don't really like to cuddle or I struggle with showing affection. So I feel like, okay, they always say if you realize and recognize the problem, then that's the first step to fixing it. So that's what we're going to be talking about in this video, about how I realized that and what I think has caused me to be this way. I've always known that I'm not a very affectionate person. I'm just not very touchy-feely. And I've had people that I've dated in the past tell me this. Never anyone in my family, but definitely people that I've dated have said that I lack affection. And even my daughter has been like, Mommy, you do not cry. And I have thought about the fact that I don't cry is really weird, but I think that's because I've compartmentalized a lot of things that have happened to me in my childhood, or even just a lot of experiences that I've gone through with my daughter's father's passing, that I have not really dealt with those things, or I don't really allow myself to be vulnerable and show my emotions. Initially, before I realized the reason why, I was like, this is just how I am. But now I realize that it's so much more to than how I am. It's so much deeper than that. And now that my daughter's getting older and she is affectionate, this girl likes to cuddle. So now that she's getting older and likes to show affection, I feel like this is a time that I need to face this issue and fix the issue or just heal. I need to heal so that I can be more affectionate and show my daughter more affection. And even when I get married, God willing, I'm able to give my spouse that affection as well, or just my family members. I feel like I do use words of affection, but I don't, or I give words of affirmation, or of course I tell my daughter that I love her, but I'm not the touchy part and the cuddly. That's where I struggle. And then I wonder, maybe is it that I am closed off? I don't know what it is, and I should probably talk to a professional about this, but I am a little bit guarded. I am a little bit closed off, and it does take time for me to open up. And it sucks that it's not only in dating, it sucks that it's also in my personal life. And like I said, now that baby girl's getting older, I feel like it shows in that way as well. This video is really focusing on how I can show more affection to my daughter. When I really sat with this and how I feel and really dissecting and digging deep as to why I am this way, it really stems from my childhood. And without saying too much, let's just say that I was definitely taken advantage of and mistreated in my childhood by an adult in the church. When I was younger, you all, I had asked my pediatrician, I was probably in middle school or something, and I had asked my pediatrician, I was like, why am I this way? There was a specific thing that I asked her, and she asked me, she was like, were you ever taken advantage of? And I was like, this happened, so and so happened. And they are not, I don't think, she didn't tell my mom, and I don't know if they're legally not allowed to tell the parent. But now that I'm older and 36 years old and have even come out to my family about what was happening to me, I now realize that that's part of the reason why I am so closed off and I don't like being touched and I don't give affection, because of what happened in my childhood. And it's really unfortunate that that's my story. I don't want to get emotional. It's really unfortunate that that's my story, but I know that there's so many others who have struggled with this. And it's so strange because I've also said I don't remember a lot of my childhood. There are things, I only remember the trauma. Like, I don't remember a lot of good things. I don't remember my birthday parties. There's just a lot of milestones that I don't remember in my childhood. And it's because our brains way of protecting us, or our way of coping with things is pushing it all the way to the back and forgetting about it. And when we bring it to the forefront, or when we have children and these things kind of start to surface and we try to deal with these things, it's so hard. And that's why I'm making this video, because I know that I'm not the only person who has dealt with this. And it's also part of the reason why I am so protective over my child and don't like her just going to people's houses. And it's wild because it's usually the people closest to you. Excuse me. I'm not crying on camera, so I'll be right back. So I just went through some things in my childhood that changed the way that I view physical affection and physical touch. And I am trying to change that and to heal from that so that I'm able to show my daughter physical affection in a healthy manner. And like I said, she's a cuddle bug. She'll sit on top of me and want to cuddle up. And I'm not pulling away or telling her to stop, but I do recognize and I notice in those moments that I'm not giving the affection back. So that's something that I really want to work on, my healing and building and giving that to her, because I feel like I don't want my daughter to ever feel rejected by me or to ever feel like she's being an annoyance to me. And I have actually taken the time, she's 13. I've actually taken the time to scratch the surface or explain to her in the best way that I can without going too deep as to the things that I experienced and why I may be that way, especially with the crying. She asked me why I don't cry. And look, you guys, me talking about this made me emotional. So this shows that I can be emotional. Such a hard topic to discuss. And it's so unfortunate that I know I'm not the only one. I know that so many people experience the things that I've gone through. And my point of making this video is to say that you're not alone. And also that I'm holding myself accountable, seeing that this is something that I want to change about myself and I want to be able to show more affection. And it's so important to me now that Haley is 13 and she's growing and she has her own emotions and self-awareness, awareness to things that are going on around her, social awareness, self-awareness, religious awareness, just a lot of things that teenagers kind of go through that transition as they're getting older. So now that she's 13 and getting older and is a cuddle bug and likes to show affection, and she's discovering her love languages and how she likes to be loved, I just feel like this topic and all these things and me healing so that I can love her the way that she wants to be loved really matters. And I realized it's not just about me anymore. I realized that, of course, when I was pregnant, when I gave birth, but I feel like right now these years are so critical. And again, it's not just about me anymore. It's not just about how I feel or what I need or what I'm comfortable with. It's truly about what she needs and the type of love that she needs to feel. So I've definitely have been trying to be more intentional, even in those awkward moments. You guys, again, last night we were watching the finale of Love Overboard, and they were about to announce who the final couple is, who the final winner is. And she hopped up on me and was hugging me. And I was self-aware in that moment, and I just grabbed her arm and pulled her closer. And I was really proud of myself. I know that that's a small step, but for me, that's big because usually I'm just feeling awkward inside. And I was just like, girl, if you don't hug up on her and hold her tight while they make this announcement too. So even in those awkward moments, I'm like, okay, it's fine. It's awkward for now. But once I break down those shackles, it won't feel awkward anymore. I don't want to make it weird for her because I feel like she will notice if I am all of a sudden so affectionate and so touchy and so huggy. I definitely tell her with my words how much I appreciate her. I thank her all the time, tell her I love her. But just with the affection of physical touch and physical affection, if I start hugging her all the time, she's going to definitely give me side eye and be like, girl, mom, are you good? What's wrong with you? So it's definitely, I'm taking it slow for sure. I don't want it to be fake. I want it to be genuine as well. And just being softer, I'm just trying to be softer in those moments that I generally would not be very soft in. So this is a journey, you guys, and I'm going to take you along on this healing journey with me and let you guys know the progress that I make or any roadblocks that I have. And if you all have experienced this with your children, I would love to hear about it and what you've done to progress and do better. And I have to understand that I'm not perfect at all. There's going to be days where I struggle and days where I am just unable to show that affection. And I have to give myself grace and understand that, because I know my daughter would, without a doubt. She is so sweet. She is so understanding. She is so similar to me at putting others' feelings before hers. So I know that she would be so understanding and she would be so proud. I'm sure she doesn't watch all my YouTubes, but I know that she would be so proud of me for making this video and holding myself accountable. And another way that I'm going to hold myself accountable is those days I'm slipping back in the habits that I don't want to slip into. I'm going to recognize them and maybe start journaling again. I think that I journaled a lot when I was younger, and I think that if I start journaling again, that would really help. But I think being her mom, I would much rather it feel uncomfortable for me than to risk her ever not feeling loved or not feeling loved in the way that she wants to feel loved. Or again, just that she's annoying me or being a burden on me with her level of affection. I thank you all so much for always being so understanding through my chit chats and being so supportive and not really judging me. And I understand that there will be people out there who judge me. That's part of the risk that you take with putting yourself out there on the internet. But for me, this is so healing. And just this small short video has done so much for me in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, however long this video is. It has done so much healing for me. I'm really, really grateful for this platform and grateful for you guys. And I know that through prayer, I have asked God for healing. This is something that I've asked God to deal with me and provide me guidance, provide me clarity, and help me to heal from the things that I've experienced from my childhood, and ask God to lead me in the direction to properly heal from those things. And so I know that this goal of mine and this change of mine, it's going to come to fruition, and it's going to make me a better, stronger person, a healthier mom mentally. I just know that this is going to be so good for me. And I've even looked on this platform for other videos here on YouTube to see others who maybe have a similar story to mine or may be facing similar challenges. And I wasn't really able to find anything. So I feel like a lot of people maybe don't talk about it. A lot of people don't really talk about struggling to show affection, especially when you have had childhood trauma or you didn't grow up getting affection from your parents or your family members. So if you're like me, I'd love to know how you're dealing with this and how you've overcome it, or just your daily challenges, how you're facing those. You guys, my light just cut out, so not as bright as it was. That sucks. But just to close this out, I think a lot of us, or really I can only speak for myself, but I think that I definitely want to provide and supply things that for my child that I feel that were lacking in my childhood. And for me, that's affection and physical touch appropriately. And I think that even though that doesn't come naturally to me, I'm going to put my best foot forward and put all of my effort to ensure that I'm providing that for my daughter. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.